What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Houston Rockets, and we're going to be talking about how this team got exactly who they needed in this year's NBA draft, and we're going to jump right into the video. The Houston Rockets started with the 3rd overall pick in this year's draft, and they ended up selecting Jabari Smith, and I think this was the perfect pick for the Houston Rockets. When we look at their roster and the way it's constructed, we know that they have playmakers everywhere. They have a big and Alfred Sengun who can create for himself and create for others, and then they have a young, explosive, dynamic backcourt in Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green who can also create for themselves and create for others. So the Houston Rockets, coming into this draft, they were looking to add some depth to their front court, some defense, and some three-point shooting, and they get all three of those things with Jabari Smith, and I think he's going to fit in really well with the Houston Rockets. And we look at his game, and what he was known for on the collegiate level was his shooting ability. He's a major. Jabari Smith so special on the offensive side of the ball is his size. He's 6'10", mixed with his shooting ability, his screens and run off pin downs. We never see a guy his size be able to turn, catch, and shoot so quickly. So he's really special, and his offensive game just doesn't stop there. He has some real great upside. There were moments in college where he would be in the rhythm and he could put the ball on the floor, get to his spot in the mid-range, and rise over anybody, and his shot would be uncontestable. And then also it was moments where he could get to the rim and use his length to his advantage. So I love his game offensively, and people compare him to Brandon Ingram, Kevin Durant, Paul George. If he can put it together offensively, that's his ceiling on the offensive side of the ball. And then Jabari Smith, my favorite part about his game is how tenacious of a defender he is. Now, he's very versatile. He's 6'10", and he's mobile. Now, he can guard literally 1 through 5, and the Houston Rockets are going to love that about him because, like I said, they need defenders. So he's going to be able to switch out on every position, and he's going to give the Houston Rockets some defensive versatility. So I'll give this an A+ for the Houston Rockets, and this is exactly what they need, especially with Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. They're going to love playing alongside him because he's going to draw so much attention, and then vice versa. Jabari Smith is going to get a lot of wide open looks playing alongside those two guys, and then Alfred Sengun is a great playmaker out the post. So this is a great pickup for the Houston Rockets. And then they also had the 17th pick in this year's draft, and they ended up selecting Tari Eason. Honestly, I was shocked to see Tari Eason fall to 17, which makes this an even better pick for the Houston Rockets. I had Tari Eason going top 10 in my mock draft, but either way, it's a great pick for the Houston Rockets. He's going to be adding some depth to their front court, and then he's also going to be adding some defense. And as a matter of fact, he's going to be adding a lot of defense to the Houston Rockets. Now, we look at his physical attributes. He's 6'8", with a 7'2" wingspan, and watching him in college, he was very special. And I think as soon as he steps into the NBA court, he's going to have the ability to guard 1 through 4, and I think he has the potential and the upside to guard 1 through 5. And usually in college, whether he was guarding a wing or whether he was guarding a guard, he was usually stronger and quicker than that opponent, and that's a nightmare for any offensive player on any level of basketball. So Tari Eason, he was a great on-ball defender. He had a knack for playing defense, and what takes him from being a good defender to a great defender is that not only does he stay locked in when he's guarding the guy with the basketball, but he also stays locked in when he's playing defense off the ball. He's a terrific help defender. He has a high IQ. He knows when to rotate. He's always there when his teammates get beat, and with that long wingspan mixed in with his athleticism, he's a great rim protector. And then he's also great in the little situations where it matters, being a great closeout, affecting shots, pin the hand up. He's just an all-around solid, great defender. And then offensively, he's not too shabby either. Great in transition. He's a great finisher, really athletic, same in the half court, knows where to be at the right time, knows when to cut, and he just really needs to work on his three-point shot. And with the Houston Rockets, with the way that their roster is set up now, I want to see him having to create his own shot too much of the time. Just really work on his catch and shoot threes. He shot 36% from the three-point line in college, which isn't too bad. It isn't great. And then also a bright spot is that he shot 80+% from the free throw line. So he has a soft touch in there somewhere. It's just he's just gonna have to put in the work. But I love this pick for the Houston Rockets. To me, this Tari Eason, very great on the defensive side of the ball. 6'8", 7'2" wingspan with speed and athleticism. He's going to cause a lot of problems defensively. Now, the Houston Rockets also had the 29th overall pick in this year's draft, and they went with Ty Washington. And I like this pickup for the Houston Rockets, and I like Ty Washington's game. Now, he's not flashy. He's not super athletic, but what he is, he's an efficient basketball player, and he makes basketball winning plays. And my favorite part about his game is that he does not hold on to the ball for too long, and he makes very calculated and precise moves. For example, when he's running without the ball, coming off a screen, he's great at pump faking, taking 1 or 2 dribbles to get to his pull-up, and is usually butter. He's great at finding holes in the defense, probing to the rim. He has a great floater. And then also, not only can he create for himself for some offense, but he can also create for his teammates. When asked to move to the point guard position full-time for Kentucky, he went out and broke their assist record for a single game by recording 17 assists. So I think the Houston Rockets have got a solid, well-rounded player in Ty Washington, and I think they did really good in the first round of this draft, getting Jabari Smith, getting Tari Eason, and then getting Ty Washington. I think they did a great job, and what's great for the Houston Rockets is that they have something that they're adding to, and I think it all starts with Jalen Green, and I really like what I saw from him in the second half of last season. He started to get more comfortable out there. He was adjusted to the speed of the NBA, and then he just started to get a lot more creative. And then I think he showed that he's going to be able to be a legit 3-level scorer in this league. And what I like about him is it always seems like he's moving so effortlessly. Like, that's how athletic he is. So I think the Houston Rockets, I think they have their guy in Jalen Green, so they have that nucleus to build around. And then also the player that I'm the most fascinated with on the Houston Rockets is Kevin Porter Jr., because I think he's one of those guys that once he puts it all together, he's going to be a top 5 point guard in the NBA. And I think he already displayed that he has that type of potential. Like, he went for 50 points and 10+ assists. That's crazy right there. And then you can also see it with your eye test. Like, you can see him out there on the court. He has the size, he has the skill set, he has the, he has the knack for it. So I think it's all a matter of time before he puts it together. And then they also have Alperen Sengun, who I love a lot, who's just a low post monster, whether it's scoring the ball or setting guys up. He's really great on that low block. And then you add Jabari Smith, who I love a lot, and I think he's going to unlock a lot of things for the Houston Rockets backcourt and vice versa. I think those two guys being aggressive are going to get Jabari Smith a lot of wide open shots, and then they add a great defender in Tari Eason. I just love him on the defensive side of the ball. And then Ty Washington, who's a very solid point guard at the collegiate level, or if you need him to be a 2 guard, he could play the 2. So great job for the Houston Rockets. Really like what I've seen from them in this year's draft. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below, let me know what you think, if the Houston Rockets hit in the draft or not, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man. And that's curtains.